David with Liguori Drag Racing, and in this video I'm going to be going over the FuelTech ECU differences. And you see here in front of me a 450, 550, and a 600. The 450 and the 550 have a hard plastic case, whereas the 600 has an aluminum case. More physical feature differences is the 600 has LED warning lights on the side and a LED shift light at the top. The 450 and the 550 have warning lights, but they are virtual LEDs. And what that means is they actually pop up on the dash itself, not as a LED light on the side. So there's two lights that'll come up on the dashboard for a warning light. Looking at the back of the ECUs, the FT450 has one 26-pin connector, and it is the A harness. The 550 has two 26-pin connectors, and that is the A and B harness. The FT600 has two 34-pin connectors for an A and B harness. On the 450, if you were to buy a 450, wire up your vehicle and run it for say a year or two, and you decide you want to add things onto it, you ran out of outputs, you ran out of inputs, you want to data log something more, you want to control more, you can buy a 550 and still plug it into the A plug, because the A plug on the 450 and the 550 is the exact same. You can plug it in, put your map in here, change it to a 550 map, and it will start the vehicle and run just like it did with a 450. The difference is the B plug. You can expand off of the B connector to add things like sensors or control more things with more outputs. The 450 has 7 inputs. The 550 has 14 inputs, and the FT600 has 20 inputs. The 450 has 10 outputs. The 550 has 24 outputs, and the 600 has 32 outputs. So when deciding what ECU you need, you should write out a list of inputs and outputs. An input is anything that goes into the ECU, such as a sensor, a switch, a button, two-step button, upshift button, nitrous button, oil pressure, fuel pressure, shock travel sensor, drive shaft speed, things like that. That's all an input. The outputs, there are 10 outputs on a 450. There are 24 outputs on a 550, and there are 32 outputs on a 600. An output is anything that is controlling something, such as a fuel injector, an ignition coil, running wires to a Spark Pro 4, nitrous solenoids, turning on relays, fuel pump relays, nitrous relays, shift outputs, things like that. That is an output. So you have 10, 24, and 32. So when picking out an ECU, make sure that you make a list of everything that you need, and that will tell you what ECU you at least need to buy. So if you have more inputs than a 450, then scratch a 450, you need at least a 550. So you can pick between the 550 or the 600. The 550 and the 600 have a built-in gyroscope, G meter, pitch meter, pitch rate angle, acceleration G's, lateral G's, roll rate, everything like that built into the 550 and the 600. It is not built into the 450. If you want to use wheelie control, you can use wheelie control built in off of the pitch meter on a 550 and a 600. You have to have an external sensor on a 450. If you look at the back here, every ECU has a USB cable and a manifold air pressure port. So that is the same on each. All of the software is the same. I get a lot of questions about is the delay box in the 450? Does the 450 have auto shift? And the simple answer is yes, because all of those features are all on the same ECUs. The 450 has the same features except the G meter and less inputs and outputs as a 600. It's all the same. It's all the same software on the computer, all the same features. The screens are the same. It's all touch screen. You can tune your vehicle directly on the dashboard as much as you possibly can. You can't look at a data log. You can change maps right on the dashboard. You can change two-step RPM, shift RPM. You can change the fuel map. You can change the ignition timing, anything like that directly on the ECU itself, because the ECU is a dashboard. So I hope this answers a lot of questions on what ECU you might be interested in. And if you have any questions, you feel free to contact me, david@ligoridragracing.com, ligoridragracing.com, dragbikesupply.com. We do motorcycles, cars, scooters, four-wheelers, side-by-sides. We're getting into jet skis, everything that you can think of. So if you have any questions, let me know. Make sure you like and subscribe this video. Thank you.